Welcome to the Raging Takes podcast with your hosts, Brian Dixon, Kai Zabo, and Dylan Peters.
What up, you turkeys? Welcome to episode 140 of the Raging Takes podcast. Today is Saturday, January 18th, 2025. I'm your host, Brian Dixon, joined as always by my co-hosts, Kai the Commissioner Zabo and Dylan Peters. Hello.
Salutations.
Howdy doody.
Howdy doody, that's a new one.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, dude.
You workshopping that one?
I got a lot of things flowing in my mind.
Yeah, we know.
Lately about these introductions.
We know. Today's episode, just a little quickie divisional round preview. We got 4 games on the slate. We're also going to have a fantasy football, game, I guess you could call it.
I would say just playoff draft.
We'll each draft a little tiny team from the 8 remaining squads, and we'll see how they do this week. Just a little fun little banter, okay? Let's just get right into it. Divisional round. We'll start with the first game today. When does it start today? Is it noon? Is it 1?
1:30 p.m.
1:30 Pacific time. Houston at Kansas City. I would say this is probably the least exciting football game on the slate this week. But with that being said, it still has the chance to be okay, I think. Texans come in with a big win after the against the Chargers last week. The Chiefs are a little tougher than the Chargers, I would say, right? The back-to-back defending champion. Yeah. It's going to be in Arrowhead, the toughest place to play in the league, probably. You're going up against Mahomes. You're going up against playoff Kelsey, who I'm expecting to see again this year, personally. I don't know about you guys. Travis Kelsey will not trick me ever again. I am fully ready for him to have 300 yards a game here and them to win the 3rd straight Super Bowl. Azeez Al-Shaair is expected to play for Houston. Joe Mixon is also expected to play. They were the 2 injury concerns for Houston really this week. Robert Woods is questionable. No injuries to report really on the Chiefs side. Let's start with you, Kai. Where do you see this game going? Do either of you guys have the balls to pick the Texans? Because I sure don't.
No, I mean, I'm actually even taking the Chiefs point spread, which is -8.5. Yeah, I mean, this could very well be a game to where, people are kind of thinking the Texans may be competitive. They might score some significant points. I kind of think this could be one of those games where, the Texans could potentially score less than 10 points. But at the same time, though, a lot of people do think that it's going to be a low-scoring game, and I think that's attributed to both of these defenses. The Texans' defense is pretty good. We can't deny that. I mean, that's going to be the key to this game. That's going to be the only way that the Texans have a chance to win this game. But, man, this is such a tall task for them. I personally thought that they shouldn't have won last week, so I'm definitely taking the Chiefs this week.
I mean, it's not like they got away with one last week. They kicked the shit out of the Chargers. They kind of proved that they do belong in the playoffs.
But that was also because of their defense to me, though, too. I didn't really see much from the offense that inspires confidence to me that they can beat the defending Super Bowl champions.
Dylan?
I mean, okay, so they did trounce the Chargers. They beat the shit out of the Chargers. Let's just say that was an ass whooping that none of us expected, right? That being said, Kai's right. It's all on defense. Their offense was okay. Like CJ Stroud put up, 280 plus passing yards, a touchdown. They got Joe Mixon going. They got Nico Collins going. It's kind of like I think they have an offense that can help them stay in games. Like, I don't think the offense will by any means be the reason why they're behind in games, if that makes sense, like because of their defense. So that being said, I don't know. Kansas City's way harder to play in, but if the Texans bring the defense that they brought against the Chargers, if they play that way, this is not a lock for the Chiefs to win this game, because what we saw against the Chargers was they made Justin Herbert throw more interceptions in that game 4 than he threw all season. So Justin Herbert had been a highly efficient, highly he protected the ball. He threw for less than 50% passing against the Texans defense. And he's a good quarterback, in my opinion. Like, he's on the short list of like those guys. Like, he's a top 7 quarterback for me in the NFL if I'm making a list. So the Texans turned him into a pedestrian, terrible Nathan Peterman like quarterback.
Yeah.
Do we think they could do that against the Chiefs, though?
I mean, how many playoff games has Herbert been in? Was that like his second or third? And then compared to Mahomes, who's been in as many Super Bowls as Herbert's been in playoff games, I feel like it's going to be harder to get to Mahomes as it was Herbert. Yeah. They just played a few weeks ago too. Remember, if the Chiefs won 27-19,
and Joe Mixon did get shut down in that game.
Yeah.
And what you were saying about what the Texans did to Justin Herbert, I feel like this is a game where the Chiefs defense could do that to CJ Stroud.
Yeah. The only thing that scares me is LA's ability to get, like, let's just say Lad McConkey 200 passing or 200 receiving yards and a touchdown. So it's like there is holes in the Texans defense, and Andrew Reid's going to find them, and the Chiefs are going to win this game. But it's going to be interesting to see that front seven go against that Chiefs offensive line,
which is really good too, by the way. Three all pros alone on that offensive line. So yeah.
Stroud in that meeting in December, who went 23 of 39, 244, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. That was the game that Tank Dell shredded his knee up to. I kind of think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I'm going to say Chiefs win like 24-13, probably, something like that.
Like, so that would be the under.
I don't think the Chiefs are going to come out looking like just the best Chiefs team we've ever seen or anything like that. Like, I don't think they're going to drop 40 points, but I do think that they're probably going to have control of this game. I personally trust Patrick Mahomes to win a playoff game against the Texans. I'm not against picking somebody to beat the Chiefs this year, because I think three-peating is got to be the hardest thing you can do in the sport. No one's ever done it before. Tom Brady didn't even do it. So I'm not against picking the Chiefs to lose, but I just don't think that this is the one. I think this is going to be a nice little tune-up for them until they have to go play the actual real opponents, which is whoever they got to play in the AFC Championship game and then whoever they would have to play in the Super Bowl. The Texans, this is just like a preseason game before the real action starts. I just don't see how they could beat the Chiefs. So I'm gonna pick Kansas City. Dylan, you're picking Kansas City?
Yeah, I'm going to pick Kansas City. I think it's going to be like a 21-17 game, though. I think the Texans are going to stick into this one, but I don't think that it's going to be like – I think it'll be 21-10 at some point, Chiefs to Texans. But I think that Texans defense holds on. I think they hold on to that game with their dear lives because they have to.
So both of you guys picked the under in that game, which is 41.5 right now. I'm going to take – I bet on the over, so I'm going to say like 24-21 Chiefs win by field goal.
Okay. What's the over under?
41.5.
41.5.
Did you say, but you said you were taking the spread on this one.
I am, yeah. So I took Chiefs 8.5, and which means win by 9, and then I took the over. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Next up, Ravens at Bills.
Ooh, I can't wait.
Zay Flowers is doubtful. Ray Davis appears to be a game time decision, as he was still in the concussion protocol as of yesterday. Zay Flowers being doubtful sucks for them, for sure. That's going to hurt them. I still think that obviously they could win. Like, Lamar Jackson's been unreal. Derrick Henry's been unreal. Rashad Bateman, perfectly fine wide receiver. Like, it's not like they don't have anybody for Lamar to throw to. They still have both the tight ends too. So I do think Zay Flowers hurts them, but I don't think it's like a complete death sentence for Baltimore. This one's tough for me, dude. I keep going back and forth. I don't know who to pick. I still, to this second, have no idea who I want to pick. Do either of you guys have anything here? Because this is obviously the hardest game of the week to pick.
I've been bouncing back and forth, but I think I do have my decision. I am going to take the Bills. They are at home. It almost just seems like it's destiny that the Chiefs and the Bills are going to meet again in the AFC Championship. And I don't know, this just feels like a game that the Ravens could lose. They're on the road. They're not exactly trustworthy yet in the playoffs. The Bills have a fantastic defense too. So, I mean, this isn't going to be like easy going for the Ravens whatsoever. And I just think when it comes down to a very close game where you kind of need to pull out everything you need to do to win the game, I'm not sure if the Ravens are there yet. We've seen the Bills do it countless times, though.
Dylan?
This to me is the tale of these two teams. You know, they both have trouble with Kansas City right now. They're both facing each other to probably go play Kansas City. So to me, this is like, oh man, this is going to be a tough game because I don't think it matters that the Bills are at home. I don't think it matters at all.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore, they're used to cold weather. They're used to going into these harsh environments and winning games. And Lamar has shown us this year that he can be that stand in the pocket and deliver those throws quarterback when you need him to. He's shown that year in, year in, year over year. And now he's doing it without his best weapon. So, and that Ravens defense looks totally different. I know the Steelers came in with a bad offense, but man, this Ravens defense is not really allowing all that much. And the Bills don't have all that many weapons. I mean, they've been mitigated by worse teams than the Ravens this year. I think that'll continue. And I think the Ravens walk out of Buffalo with a meeting with the Chiefs in the AFC Championship next week.
I still don't know who I want to pick here. So you're going Ravens, Dylan. Kai's going Bills. I looked at the weather report. It looks like it's going to be under 20 degrees and potentially snow. There's like a 24-ish% chance of precipitation, it says, tomorrow night.
I mean, Dylan's right. It's not going to hurt either team, honestly.
No, but if it's snowing, it's going to help the Bills more. The Ravens don't play in the snow all that often.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not just going to cut it down just to weather, though. But I mean, also Dylan's right, though. The Ravens defense is very different. But I think a key part of that game for me is how well that defensive line contains Josh Allen.
Yeah, well,
I think it's how much they do against James Cook in that run game
too. Yeah, and James Cook has been fantastic too in the playoffs. So I mean, there's a lot of variables to think about here. There's a lot of different matchups.
You know what?
I think they're going to have Roquan Smith spying Josh Allen that entire game.
I sure hope so. But the thing is, Roquan is so good in pass coverage too. You can't just have him spying the entire game. Someone's got to guard Lamar Jackson or Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely.
That's why you put someone else on the spy duties and let Roquan go to work.
Yeah.
I'll go Bills. If it's going to snow, I think it's going to help them out. I'm a Josh Allen MVP guy, so I feel like I got to pick Josh Allen against Lamar Jackson, right? Otherwise, I'd be a fraud.
I would not be surprised. I mean, like, I know that they're not supposed to count playoffs when they decide who the MVP is, but you have to admit that it still helps them make their decision. I mean, this is the game right here. These are the two MVP.
I legit don't think it does. I think it's just purely a regular season thing.
I understand that, but it's like, at the same time, though, if it's just regular season, why did they announce it so late? You know, they let themselves get influenced so much by watching these playoff games that sometimes their decisions may change, even though they say it's just for the regular season.
Have they already voted, though? I feel like they probably vote right after the regular season. They just don't reveal it, right? Or I don't know how that works. Anyway.
I honestly have no idea. But yeah, I mean, this is MVP versus MVP. Matchup right here.
I'll go Bills. I don't want to pick the favorite every game, but I think I'm probably going to. This was like the one where I'm like, maybe I should steer off of. But yeah, I'll just go Buffalo. I feel like I'll be a fraud if I pick Lamar Jackson over Josh Allen. I'm a Josh Allen MVP guy, so I gotta go with him, I guess. This is close though. I really truly
it really is.
It would not shock me no matter what happens. Like even if one team blows out the other team, because like these teams can have stinkers. The Bills had a couple stinkers this year. The Ravens are known to have some stinkers every once in a while. So would it shock me if like the Bills won 30-18? No, or vice versa. I don't think any outcome shocks me here. I hope it's a close game. I think it's going to be. I'll take the Bills by 3. I think they kick a field goal at the end to win.
And that makes sense. I've been a Lamar for MVP guy the whole year.
Yeah.
And Kai's been a Saquon for MVP guy because he's a homer. And you can't trust anything he says.
Shut up.
You can't.
Okay. Next up, Rams, Eagles. Speaking of, No major injuries for either team. What the? Did you anyways? Wait, I'll skip this other note. Ravens claimed Deontay Johnson. By the way, this was supposed to be talked about in the last game. I think Kai rearranged the notes on me or something like that.
Well, no, you had this in the Rams Eagles note.
I don't think I'm pretty sure I didn't. I had it under.
You did not. You did not. I didn't change none of that.
Anyway, Ravens claimed Deontay Johnson. He's not going to play for them though. It's just like a transactional move because when they traded for him, there's like a comp pick associated with it, which I guess they gave up when they cut him potentially. But then when the Texans cut him, they're just like, we'll just take him back. So they're not going to be awarded him, quote unquote, awarded him until after the Super Bowl anyway. So he can't even play for them even if they wanted him to, which I don't know why you would even want him to at this point. So just transactional there for Deontay Johnson and the Ravens. So Rams at Eagles, no major injuries to report for either team here. Rams coming off a big win against the Vikings. Obviously, they're going into Philadelphia. They come off a big win against. Remind me who they beat. Who did they beat?
The Packers.
Packers. This one's an interesting one too. I think I want to pick the Rams. I'm not going to because I think the Eagles are just the better team. But if any team could upset the Eagles, LA coming into Philadelphia should scare you a little bit, Kai, I think, because the Rams could do this, obviously. If the Eagles just have their wires crossed in any way and they're not playing like their exact game, the Rams could sneak up on you and punch you in the mouth. Are you concerned at all about LA?
Of course, yeah. I mean, I've been talking them up all year. They've been my favorite team in the NFC West since pretty much the whole season. But yeah, I mean, just, me, I've always said I'm a momentum guy, and that's what the Rams have is a lot of momentum right now. They're dealing with a tragedy to their hometown. They just came off of a huge playoff win against the Vikings. I'm sure they're feeling very good about themselves, but they are coming into Philly at the end of the day, and it is a tough place to play. We are a very tough team at home. But you are right, though. I mean, the Eagles could absolutely blow this game at any second. I don't even care if they're up 24-0 at halftime. I know it's not safe until the game's over with the Eagles because they take their foot off the gas. They do stupid things. And am I afraid of that every single time they play a game? Absolutely. They could absolutely do that against the Rams. The Rams defensive line, absolutely legit right now. It's going to be the matchup to watch, in my opinion, going up against the Eagles offensive line. Yeah, so I got to take my team at the end of the day, though. I mean, we played the Rams twice recently in the last year and a half, and we've beaten them both times pretty handedly as well. So I just think the Eagles defense, we match up very well to whatever the Rams are bringing out on offense. I think we can contain Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, Kyren Williams a little bit. Yeah.
The real question is, though, what kind of literature do you think A.J. Brown's going to be reading on the sideline when he doesn't get the ball?
Probably the same book.
Yeah, probably the same book.
Okay.
Yeah, all reliable.
Okay.
Yep. This is a weather update on this game. At time of kickoff, there will be actual snow. It will be snowing.
Yeah, so there we go. Rams don't play good in cold weather.
This is tonight, right? Rams Eagles?
No, that's tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow at noon.
Tonight's Commanders Lions, right? Yeah, tonight's Commanders Lions.
So it'll be snowing throughout the game. And it will get colder throughout the game,
I think that obviously it's not going to help the Rams. They're not used to that, but they could just pound the rock with Kyren Williams too, I guess. But then again, the Eagles D-line is going to probably shut that shit down. The Eagles don't play in snow all that often either. Could that fuck them up? I don't know. I feel
this is me. This is why I picked the Ravens in the weather and why I'm going to pick the Eagles in the weather. Though if I think this was a cleaner game and there was no weather, it'd be more equal. But that offensive line for the Eagles and Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts with that tush-push shit and all of the stuff that they can get those, they're going to go for it on fourth down. They're going to go, they're going to tush-push at the goal line. That they're going to give the ball to Saquon 30 times. And I just don't think that the Rams have what it takes. And that snow's going to slow down their pass rush. That snow's going to do a lot of things to the Rams that I don't think will affect the Eagles nearly as much. Because as good as Kyren Williams is, he's still slight in build. And this is still the Eagles defense. Saquon is built for running hard when everyone else is not. Everybody else is going to be losing their balance and trying to stay stable in the snow and not try to slip. And Saquon Barkley is going to be planting his foot in the ground and running a 70-yard touchdown at some point in this game. This
I
is
sure
just
hope
what
so.
happens. This is what happens on these games. I'm going to take the Eagles to win, and I think this will be a dominant game by the Eagles.
Yeah. Also, a little side note too. Saquon Barkley was seen this week saying that I'm going to hit up LaShawn McCoy for advice if it turns out to be a snow game. So,
Okay.
yeah,
And Shady will tell him everything he needs to know.
yeah.
What
Also,
size cleats to wear, etc.
Jeremiah Trotter's son, who we drafted last year, is starting this game because of the injury to Nakobe Dean. So,
Shout out
Nice.
Jeremiah Trotter. I love Jeremiah Trotter.
Jeremiah Trotter Jr. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. So you think the Eagles are going to win by a lot?
Yeah, I think so. I think this will be like I think somehow the Eagles find their way into like 28-10 territory against the Rams.
I think they'll pull away at the end, but I think it's going to be close up until the fourth.
Yeah, I'm not going to say we blow them out, but I'm going to say it's like a, I guess, convincing win.
I'm going to say the Eagles never allow the Rams to take control of this
Hi,
game.
Clark.
So the Eagles have control of this game from start to finish for me. That's just how it seems.
In an ideal world.
Yeah.
Depends on who you are. Commanders at Lions.
I'm excited.
This one's a good one. Yeah, tonight, Lions guard Kevin Zeitler is out. Monty and Terrion Arnold are expected to play. Bobby Wagner will play, dealing with an ankle injury this week. Missed a couple practices. He's going to be out there. The veteran. This one's interesting to me because the Commanders just have this magic about them right now. They're on fire. But the Lions are a tall task. I think, honestly, I think if I'm the Commanders, I would have rather played Philadelphia, not because I think that Philadelphia is like way worse than Detroit or anything like that, but like they played them twice already this year, so they kind of know how they play. And there's they've already beaten them also once this year, so there's just a chance that you go in there with some familiarity and you have a chance to upset a team that's been off for a week. But Detroit, they don't have that same familiarity with them, so. Going into Detroit is obviously you don't have to worry about weather for Jaden Daniels, but what you have to do worry about is like a really, really hungry Lions team that wants to prove that they can win the Super Bowl. And Dan Campbell's going to have them fired up and ready to go. And Jaden Daniels, although he is incredible, still a rookie quarterback. This is going to be probably the loudest stadium that he's been in as a football player, just period. Like Detroit's going to be rocking. I'm going to pick the Lions. I do think the Commanders have like a puncher's chance to pull off some crazy shit, like especially if Detroit maybe like gets up early and lets their guard down. Like Jaden Daniels is never out of it. He just when he's out there in like late fourth quarter, game-winning time drives, he just looks like a grizzled veteran out there. So even if Washington gets down by like 2 touchdowns in this game, I'm not going to count them out. I think the Lions have to just go out there, snuff the torch, just keep going. Don't let your guard down at all. Play 100% hard the entire game, and I think that they'll come out victorious. If they let their guard down at all and let the Commanders sneak in, they have a chance to lose this game. I don't think they're going to do that, though, so I'm going to go Detroit.
Yeah, dude. What I think is going to happen in this game is you're right. Jared Goff has just tons of playoff and experience. Like he's done it. He's been there.
He played in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, dude. He is a guy that has just been there, you know? And I feel like his poise is going to matter so much in this game. And if you ask me, like Monty comes back, Jahmyr Gibbs is having just an insane season.
Mm-hmm.
They got Amon-Ra. They got Sam Laporta still. Like, and they got the one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. It's just everything is pointing towards a Detroit win for me. Like Detroit, they win, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. The Commanders have this magic. They have this like ability to like mitigate the things that their opponents do and play in these close games, and just always keep it close. Always keep it right within arm's length. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But the Lions don't play like that. The Lions are the team that when they have you on the ropes, they're trying to knock you out. They're trying to score 3 more times in that game and beat you 50-24. Like that's what they're trying to do. And they've shown it that they're going to do it. And I can't look away from that. I can't look away from the fact that Detroit will not quit on any game.
So
Give me Detroit.
you're picking Detroit? Okay.
Yeah.
Come on, Kai, do
Yeah.
it. Come on, Kai, do it.
No, I mean, I was thinking about it, but man, dude, it's just like I don't think the Commanders' defense can get enough stops. That's purely my only reason for picking the other way. It's like I do think that Jaden Daniels can make a game out of this. He's the second best quarterback by rating against the blitz, and the Lions are blitzing at the second highest rate currently. But man, this Lions offense, like Dylan was saying, there's just too many weapons. They're just too undeniable. Dan Campbell is on fire right now. The Lions are so hungry. This is going to be the loudest that the Detroit Dome has ever been.
The Detroit Dome.
Mm-hmm. Dude,
official name of that stadium.
Yeah, it's literally just the Washington defense for me. I just do not think they can get enough stops. I think they can keep up with them in scoring, but they're not going to be able to stop the Lions enough, especially with Monty back in the lineup. Monty being back in the lineup is probably the most important thing in this matchup too. You have your guy back now that can convert the first down, can get those tough yards that you need to grind for. I think that's one of the biggest keys.
I think Amon-Ra is going to ball out, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Like Marshawn Lattimore showed that he couldn't do anything against Mike Evans last week, and they have that history together where he normally shuts them down. He don't have that history with Amon-Ra. I think Amon-Ra is just going to go out there and blitz his ass and punch him in the mouth. If I assume Lattimore is going to be shadowing him, I think that's a mismatch. Yeah, I even though I like Lattimore, I think he's a good player. I don't think he's right now. He's been dealing with injuries and stuff like that. I think Amon-Ra is going to eat against Washington.
Yeah, dude, Jahmyr Gibbs is going to have that whole defense on skates. That's why I think they're going to score. Dude, honestly, I'll just say this, dude. I think the Detroit Lions score, I'll say, a minimum of 48 points in this game.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Give them a turkey.
It don't work, dude. I'm not a turkey.
There it is.
Okay.
So you gave me 5 turkeys. Cool.
I only gave you 1. Kai gave you 4. All right, so I mean, the standings game, that's not going to look all that different. We're all on the same teams for 3 of the games: Chiefs, Lions, Eagles, and then we differ: Ravens, Bills. Dylan has the Ravens, and then Kai and I have the Bills.
That's my strategy, dude.
There you go, just
win by 1,
brick by brick. There. Okay, that's the divisional round preview.
Two and 1.
All right, fantasy draft time. Here's the rules. We go one by one. We've done this before, kind of similar things to this before. Go one by one. We're going to go in reverse order of the standings. So I'm going to go first. Dylan's going to have second pick. Kai's going to have third. And then it's going to be a snake draft. So Kai will have the first pick of the second round. We have 1 quarterback, 1 running back, 2 receivers, 1 tight end of the 8 teams remaining. Okay? I'm the first overall pick, and I already know who I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick Saquon Barkley. There's so many good players to pick. I don't think there's like that much of a strategy where at first I was like, well, should I go like a quarterback to like stop that? But there's more than 3 good quarterbacks here. There's more than 3 good running backs here. There's plenty of good receivers. I don't think there's any strategy when it comes to that. So I'm just going to pick the best fantasy football player this season, and it was Saquon Barkley. So there you go.
Yeah, man, in this matchup, I'm choosing somebody from the Lions, right? I can't go wrong. I'm going to choose Jahmyr Gibbs from Detroit. I got to.
So Dylan goes Jahmyr Gibbs second overall. All right, Kai. So now running backs are already taken. So you could be smart here and just wait on running back now, right? So, or do you want to just go ahead and get it over with? I feel like we know who you're going to pick. There's only one real answer there.
Another running back.
No,
here.
I mean, my 2 back-to-back picks, I'm going Amon-Ra St. Brown and Derrick Henry.
Okay.
Nice.
The 2 men that helped me win my fantasy football championships this year. Do it again in the playoffs.
And Derrick Henry. Who was the other person that you were thinking of, Dylan, the 4th running back? Or did I misunderstand you?
Derrick Henry.
I was going to say Derrick Henry. Yeah.
Okay, that's who I was talking about too. I was like, there's only one real other running back to choose from here, I would say. All right, so Kai, you picked Derrick Henry and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Dylan, back on the clock.
All right, so what I'm going to have to do here is I'm going to have to probably wait a little bit. I think there's two picks in between these next 2. And I think what I'll do is I'm going to go I'm gonna go with Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
As my quarterback, get that out of the way. He was the best player in fantasy this year, so I expect nothing less from this.
Okay, and then it goes back to me where I have 2 picks now. I might have to think about this for a second here. There's so many like solid wide receivers I could choose from here. Like Nico Collins, but like he's going up against the Chiefs. That kind of scares me a little bit. Ravens don't really have anybody. Bills don't really have anybody. The Eagles have 2 guys, but they could just run the ball 45 times. Like AJ Brown, they won convincingly-ish last week, and AJ Brown only had 1 catch. So it's like I can't guarantee anything there. For my first one, I'll go Puka. I'll go Puka Nacua. I know he's got a tough matchup there, but I feel like Puka is matchup proof, personally, potentially. So, and they have so many other people that you have to worry about too. Like you got to worry about Cooper Kupp too, even though he hasn't quite been the same the last month or so. I'll just go ahead and say Puka for my next pick.
Yeah, receiver in a snow game is an interesting pick.
I have 2 players in snow game right now. I trust in Puka. We're not playing for money here. The next one, I'll just go ahead and say, like, there are plenty of good quarterbacks that you can choose from here, but I'll just go Josh Allen. I'll just say Josh Allen. I feel like he's got a step up over the rest of the guys, even though there are other solid options like Goff, Daniels, whoever, Hurts. But I'll just go Josh Allen. Josh and Lamar are the 2 top quarterbacks available at the S tier quarterback. So we'll just go Josh Allen. Dylan, you're up.
My next pick, this is going to be an interesting pick, and you might not agree with it, but he's coming out, and I think he's going to be facing a defense that's going to give up some points, and I think these points will come from him, and I'm going to go with Terry McLaurin.
Oh, that's a good one. Very good one.
I think that the Washington will be throwing a lot as well, so I think Terry has a chance here.
All right, Kai, you got 2.
All right, so I think for my first one, just because I think he's going to have a really big game here in about an hour, I'm going to lock up my tight end now and take Travis Kelce.
That's a great one. I was going to pick Kelce if he got back to me.
Yeah, and then for my second pick, I have a wide receiver and a quarterback left. Man.
Got to go receiver here.
I know, that's what I was thinking too. I just got to decide which one.
Nelson Aguilar, is he playing somewhere?
No. Yeah, he's on the Ravens, actually.
There you go. Yeah, that's a good pick. Zay Flowers is out, dude. It's Aguilar time.
It's not my pick.
It's Aguilar time.
You got both Eagles wide receivers.
I know, that's what I was going to say. I'm just deciding which one I want.
We also got
Jahan Dotson?
Hopkins and Nico Collins.
I'm going to take, you know what? I'm going to do AJ Brown. I think he got shut down last week. I think it almost feels like it'd be balanced enough for him to have a good game this week after last week. So
okay. DP?
All right, I'm going to go a little bit more handcuff or stack type thing here. I drafted Lamar Jackson earlier. I need a tight end. So give me Mark Andrews.
Isaiah Likely. Oh, okay. Mark Andrews?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got the Lamar Andrews stack. That's probably pretty smart, honestly. I'm kind of liking Dylan's team right here. So now I have my last 2 picks here. So I have Allen Barkley and Puka so far as my team. I need a wide receiver and a tight end. Oh boy, it's gonna be a little hard here. I'll say, honestly, I was thinking Zach Ertz. It's either Ertz or Laporta. I don't know which one I want to choose here. Obviously, Laporta's the better player, but I feel like Zach Ertz might be safer almost in a weird way. It's like Washington really uses him, yeah. Although Laporta lately has been doing good, but I think that was partly because Monty was out. I think they kind of just started looking for him a little bit more. Now Monty's back. I don't know if that goes back down to his usage that he had for like the first 3 months of the season. I'll say Zach Ertz. Why not? That's off the wall. That's an off the wall pick. Let's go Zach Ertz. Like Dylan said, they're probably gonna be throwing a lot. Jaden Daniels likes looking for him in the end zone, the red zone. So
I'll tell you what, I was considering Ertz as like saving for last, just in case I didn't go for a tight end now.
For wide receiver here, I'm picking basically between, I would say, Devontae Smith, Nico Collins, and Jamison Williams. I'm just gonna go. Like, obviously, Nico's the best player here, probably. I'm going to go Devontae Smith, though. Just another snow game player. Screw it. I feel like one of those receivers, at least, is going to have a good game. I have a 50-50 shot of picking the one that's going to pop off. A.J. Brown struggled last week. Maybe that continues. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe they hyper-focus him to get him involved this week. But I'll go Devontae.
And for my last pick, it's easy for me. I'm going Nico Collins. Just to round out my team. Yep. He's not a shoo-in for it, but I got to tell you, if he has 120 yards and a touchdown again, what can I say?
Mm-hmm. Well, then I guess for my last pick, it's between Jalen Hurts or Jared Goff, and I guess I'll pick Jalen Hurts just because, obviously the rushing touchdowns, the tush push, he can get rushing yards. Jared Goff is not mobile whatsoever, but he could have a better passing game.
You would go Goff over Jaden Daniels?
I forgot there's Jaden Daniels too.
Yeah, they always forget about Jaden Daniels.
Or Matt Stafford, I suppose.
Nah.
I can see Matt Stafford throwing one touchdown.
Okay, so it's definitely between Hurts and Daniels, but
you got the Hurts AJ Brown stack.
That's true. Yeah, I think just because of the stack, I'm going to give the lean to my quarterback. The tush push is almost guaranteed sometimes too. So.
Especially in a playoff game too. Yeah, Sirianni's going to be calling that play 1,000 times
so
probably.
Why would I turn down a guaranteed 6 points?
Yeah, that's why I asked.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the final teams. I have Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley, Puka Nacua, Devontae Smith, Zach Ertz. I have I have 2 Eagles, a former Eagle, and then a guy that's also playing in the snow against the Eagles. So this seems like a disaster of a team already. I think Dylan's my favorite team so far. Lamar, Jahmyr Gibbs, Terry McLaurin, Nico Collins, Mark Andrews. Mm-hmm. And then Kai has Jalen Hurts, Derrick Henry, Amon-Ra, A.J. Brown, Travis Kelce. I think I have the worst team for sure.
Hey.
We'll see.
We'll see, dude. You never know, actually.
You never know. All right, that's it. Just a short little pod today. We'll be back on Tuesday. Kai will not be. It'll just be me and DP on Tuesday. So we'll go ahead and break down the divisional round without Kai. As always, you can find us at Raging Takes on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and YouTube. And for one final day, TikTok.
Yeah.
One more day, you can find us on TikTok. You can email us ragingtakes@gmail.com. I'm at Montana Sauce on Twitter. Kai is at RTP Kai, and Dylan is at Such a Wise Fool. Enjoy some football this week. Enjoy the national championship game on Monday, too. We got some good football this week. Mm-hmm. We'll see you on Tuesday.